Welcome back. A busy night. Betsy's tracking that severe weather.
Let's get right to her and to Jason with what's happening, Bets.
Yeah, so we're starting off with a live look for you from Vermilion. So this is the Main Street Beach in Vermilion. This camera is looking generally north, maybe northeast. And this is the backside of the thunderstorm that just went through Cedar Point, the islands, and continues to move to the east. This is the thunderstorm, if we go to the radar now, that has just prompted a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Lorain County and western Cuyahoga County. This complex of storms is just really starting to rock and roll now. Things are really starting to take off. We've got very heavy rain, very intense possibilities of wind, and also hail that is fired up not only east, but now this complex to the west is also beginning to become a part of this. We also have thunderstorms that are firing in western Ohio, so this is not by any means done. As a matter of fact, these thunderstorms would be the ones that we have to keep an eye out for Huron, Richland, and Ashland counties. That's why we have the severe thunderstorm watch that is ongoing. So this complex continues to move to the south. Just take a second and just watch the lightning alone, okay? When this thing was in southern Canada, it was a very healthy thunderstorm, but not so much lightning. Look how much more lightning we have now. That is a sign of growth. That is a sign that things are strengthening. And these thunderstorms are gonna really start to pound in here on the lakeshore communities. You think it's rocking and rolling now in Fairport Harbor, Menor, Paynesville? Just wait, it's gonna get even worse. Madison on the lake, Geneva on the lake, on to Ashtabula and Conneaut, all of you have this intense thunderstorm that is going to continue to move in. Meanwhile, farther to the west, we are definitely seeing some upgrowth in this thunderstorm that is sitting in the middle of the lake right now. This is the one that will come down into greater Cleveland here over the next half hour to hour. And of course, the very intense thunderstorm that just went across the islands and continues to move to the east. So Vermilion, we just took a look at that picture. That's what it was looking at, the heart of this nasty thunderstorm that will continue to move to the east. Now, the individual storms themselves are moving west to east, but the line is beginning to sink south. So if we get real tricky and we try and time some of these things and track them out, it is a little bit of a problem because we have to deal with not only the movement west to east, but also north to south. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning crawling right now across the screen here at the bottom, so we'll keep you updated on that. But this is kind of the idea that we have these storms that are going to continue here now for a while. If we kind of put a quick track on this that's going to take it into Cuyahoga County, we're going to talk about Lorain, Avon, North Ridgeville, North Olmsted, Fairview Park. We'd also have to put probably Rocky River, Bay Village, downtown Cleveland, Lakewood, Bracknell into this, probably in, well, actually, I could track that for you here. We'll probably put, I'd say this section would be coming down in here. And that's going to be coming into the Cleveland area at about 6:45 or so. So as these thunderstorms continue to evolve, and now we have this sign that they are definitely growing, we're not only dealing with that possibility of the very heavy rain and obviously tons of lightning, but we have the possibility of hail and high wind too. We'll take a look at hail first. Notice here, anytime you see the blue, these are our hail cores, and this is where your most intense updrafts will be. Those are the updrafts that then cause the hail. The hail helps to enhance the lightning. So the whole picture kind of starts to go together. And these hail cores are going to continue to move along with that thunderstorm movement. Farther to the east then, if we get back over here toward the Menor area, this is a pretty healthy hail core that's going to come in. That one looks to be headed a little bit more toward Fairport Harbor rather than downtown Menor. So heads up for you folks there. And then also those possible hail cores farther to the east too. We'll take a look at the wind right now, the radar estimated winds. And this is where now we're starting to see some of the brighter colors. Wind is a huge threat. Very heavy rain and wind. Hail would be secondary to that. Tornado threat is pretty low at this point still. But we are seeing some of these brighter colors, and this is where we get these wind surges, those big wind gusts that come in, and that's what can really start to cause the damage. So I want to go east first. Let me get my little hand here, and I'll pull the map over for everybody. We're going to go east first into Ashtabula and Lake County. We're not seeing anything terribly significant, although there is this little surge here, and that will continue to move to the east. So if we're going to track that down into areas of eastern Lake County, you can see over the next 20 minutes or so, North Madison, that would have to put Geneva in play, Geneva on the lake. We also talk about Geneva State Park, where folks are out camping, and of course they have the cabins. So very serious situations setting up there. Then if we go a little bit farther to the west, out toward where we have that other complex that is coming in that is expected to make problems for portions of Lorain and Cuyahoga County. This is one that has even more wind associated with it. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer for you here, because this is going to impact areas around downtown Lorain and then possibly just east of there out towards Sheffield Village as well. We just got a report, Jason, thank you very much, of a 30-foot tree. I'm assuming that's 30 feet high up at Catawba. So that's this wind surge that I'm talking about right now. And this has been very impressive to watch how this has been holding together. Sometimes these will get real gusty and then they kind of fall apart. This has been holding 60-mile-an-hour winds since it was back over Port Clinton. So that is going to continue to be a big problem, and that will continue to move off, as I mentioned, toward the Avon Lake area, Lorain, Sheffield Village, and whatnot. So there you see Sheffield Lake, Avon Lake, and then down into the city of Lorain, possibly Elyria too. Once it hits land, then the big question is, what's it going to do? A lot of times these surface winds will slam off of the lake right onto the lakeshore, and then friction slows things down. That may not be the case with this one. It may just kind of keep on going, but certainly there's a lot less friction out over the lake than areas on land, and so sometimes these winds have a chance to really pick up and these thunderstorms can get going. But again, we've got, look at the intense lightning that's right now sitting over Fairport Harbor, the Menor area, and we're getting these other little thunderstorms that are popping up farther to the south too. Notice here down toward Middlefield, this is going to continue to move into northern portions of Trumbull County, so a heads up from Mosquito Creek. And then also farther west, we're just not out of the woods yet around Vermilion, and this is that thunderstorm complex. It's going to move into the Lorain and Elyria areas. Farther south, a few of these isolated thunderstorms continue too, and as we go through the rest of the night, this line will continue to move from north to south and create problems. We're not out of the woods yet. We're talking about this line continuing to make issues for us through 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Then by tomorrow morning, it's all out of here. We have a beautiful weekend ahead. So things are definitely going to get better for us. But for right now, we have some pretty intense thunderstorms that we need to be ready for here in the greater Cleveland area.